You can't tell me the Democratic Party today is the same as it was 20, 30 years ago,
No,
right?
I have a lot of nostalgia of how it was. We are ready for a post-Republican and Democratic politics era. My daughter, who's in 3rd grade, goes to a public school where the teacher has to ask the parents to fundraise so that they could have expo markers and whiteboards. Where are our priorities right now? If we can get lobbying out of our politics, healthcare costs will go down, I promise you. We'll be able to fix a lot of the things.
Yeah.
Housing costs, a lot of the things that we really talk about affecting our day-to-day lives, a lot of that is there because the corruption is there. I don't identify with his label. I think what he sold is actually a very common sense platter of things for people to digest. With grades like that, F and F minus, what kind of Korean is she?
What's your grade on my art?
Well, you know what I really appreciate is your eclecticism. And I can really tell that you have a voracious love of collecting objects that are just like art and non-art objects. Like I love how you have signed basketballs. Like I love how you have, I don't know what the Gretzky thing is right there.
So that's his jersey. It's a signed Gretzky.
Uh-huh.
Gretzky is alive, but
Yes.
he's old.
Uh-huh.
So, and he was, one of the best hockey players in the world. Some people argued maybe the best hockey
Yeah,
player in the
yeah.
world. And you can see the Yankees. I'm not a massive baseball fan,
Yeah.
but the only reason I purchased that is because I consider the Yankees as part of American history. We say
Interesting.
America and sports, first thing comes into mind is Babe Ruth, right? Mickey Mantle,
Right. Right.
Yogi Berra,
Right.
and I have the original autographs over there.
Yeah.
So that's something to treasure.
One thing that I'm actually picking up on is your affinity to street art a little bit. Yes. Which I love. I don't know if you ever saw that Mocha show that Jeffrey Deitch did
No.
like 10 years ago. It was about the history of street art right here in downtown LA. And it was a massive show about how foundational street art was to advancing the the idea that art and politics and the line between those two things are completely blurred always.
Favorite street artist, I would say Bansky.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you consider
So good.
Warhol a street artist. I know he's the father
King of
of
pop.
king of pop culture, pop art.
Yeah.
I don't own anything of his yet, but one day I will.
Yeah.
Do you know Craig Allen?
No, I don't.
Craig Allen is an Atlanta-based muralist.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And if you can Google Craig Allen, and he does these tiny figurines of people, and
Okay.
he makes it into a portrait. So I purchased.
Wait,
And
but he's a muralist?
he was a muralist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yes, he was a muralist, and he would paint massive murals, inside of buildings. See, like for instance, that heart on the right side. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So he would, paint figurines like that. And I was in Hawaii one day. I walked into a gallery, which is something I do all the time. And I saw, his portrait, Andy Warhol's portrait, that was painted in such a way, and I just fell in love with it. And the only reason why I buy art is because, everybody should buy it because they love it,
Yeah.
not for, like.
You sound like an art dealer now.
Oh, really? But I don't know if you know how you got my attention.
I don't.
Yeah. Yes.
Instagram ad?
Not ad, but I was going through scrolling on Instagram Reels, like,
Yeah.
gazillion people do,
Yeah.
and this came up. Tom, if you can.
Two major architectural projects. Number one was a ballroom. Number two
Allie made
was
that
an
with
Arc
me.
de Triomphe.
So this has
Those two things,
a bunch of
Trump is
views,
now
a bunch
actively
of
working
likes,
on. Hi,
and a lot of
Esther Kim
comments.
Varet, congressional challenger,
And you
and
are
a historian,
equating
spent 12
the
years doing a
modern
doctorate at
version
Columbia
of
in
Heinrich
history
Himmler
of
and
art and
Adolf
architecture.
Hitler.
In
To
1939,
Kristi Noem, for the people that
also
don't know,
constructed for himself
and
with
of
his
course, your
architect,
president,
Albert
Donald
Speer.
Trump. I
My president.
Is he not?
Is he yours too?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, he's the leader of the free world. He's
Yeah.
the president
Okay.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
330 plus million people.
Did you vote for him?
I did, actually.
You did. Interesting.
For Obama as well. And I'm a registered Democrat.
Interesting.
And I
Okay.
work for Adam Schiff. And I'm
Interesting.
involved in California
And
Democrat.
you were a delegate, a California Democratic delegate.
Yes.
Fascinating, sir. Okay.
So, but I wanna understand what correlation did you find besides the Arc de Trump, Arc de France, and
Yeah. I mean, okay. So just to back up, right? Like I did 12 years of a doctorate in art history at Columbia, and I taught the history of the avant-garde to essentially a lot of freshmen undergrad at Columbia. And in that, there's something that was really there were a couple of things that happened. There was a very vibrant artistic community in Germany when Hitler took over.
yes.
A lot of the artists of that community were Jewish. Some of the most formidable artists of that era were Jewish. And also it was a place where the LGBTQ community convened, right? And so when Hitler came into office, he declared war on the aesthetics of Jews and gays. Sound familiar? There is a lot happening on the level of what's going on with the Smithsonian right now and the filters that are being put everywhere about taking out language of DEI, for example, diversity, equity, inclusion, that is mirroring in a lot of ways what Hitler tried to do when he came into power. He wanted a much more nostalgic, a much more neoclassical version of art and architecture to stand for German ideals, right? Trump, if you look at his aesthetic, his vibe, it's a little like that. It's neoclassical. And I'm going to make your brain expand a little bit.
Sure.
Because
You're welcome.
yes, stay with me. When Trump comes into power, he does the exact same thing. If you look on the government's website right now, there is an entire section where he declares war on modernist art and architecture.
Okay.
It's exact same language that Hitler used.
In what sense? What does he specifically do?
He declares, for example, classical architecture as the new form of official architecture for America. It's on there. It's on the website.
This is on the White House website?
Yeah,
or
the White House website.
If you can go to whitehouse.gov.
No, go to whitehouse.gov and do like modernist architecture, White House, making federal architecture beautiful again. Okay, this is if you read this, it actually is very similar to the same kind of language and template that Hitler used.
So what you're telling me is you're equating Trump to Hitler.
I think Trump is a big fan of Hitler.
Like privately?
No,
secretly?
publicly. I think there was an interview that
So you think he hates the Jews?
I think that he is using the same kind of so you have to remember 100 years ago, Jews were immigrants. They were seen as the outsiders, right? The language against immigrants, against disabled, against anybody that didn't live up to a certain standard is actually the same language that's used now. Now, my husband's Jewish, so I can...
Joseph Rosenwald?
Yeah. Yeah. And he, again, I have seen within our own Jewish American community.
Are you Jewish as well? Did you?
I am not.
Okay.
So I did not convert.
Okay.
And although my name is Esther, which is very confusing for my in-laws, fortunately, / disappointing, I'm sure.
I know Koreans, they're big, Christian.
Yeah, that's where I got my name. So my grandmother, who's was super Christian, gave me my name. My younger brother's name is Abraham. It's funny. And then you marry a Jewish family and they're like, whoa.
You must know Cheyenne then. Cheyenne.
Julian? No.
No, okay, all right. He's a massive Korean.
Oh, the guy who's running for governor.
Yes.
Yes. Oof. Yeah.
Okay.
No comment. But I will say, I'm somebody that is very big about separating religion from politics, right? I don't think everybody should, abide by biblical rules because this is a country where people have a lot of different religions. So, okay, I'm losing my thread here. Where do I? Okay,
You were
so
for neoclassical architecture.
yes,
like
yes,
led
okay,
by Hitler.
yeah. Um, what's also interesting to me is that I don't know if Trump is anti-Semitic per se, because I know people like, oh, his grandchildren are Jewish, like, he was good with Israel.
His daughter's husband is
Yes,
Jewish.
yes, yes, yes.
He moved the capital.
But he has not, if you look, whenever there has been anti-Semitism on the right, like,
Mhm.
um, how about when the white supremacists marched and they said the Jews will not replace us? He refused to condemn it. Right. He's always
Yeah.
playing a fine line. Um, if you also think about, are you Jewish by any chance?
No, you just asked me if I'm Armenian.
Well, I don't know. Aren't there Armenian Jews?
Very seldomly. I mean, there was a bunch of Jews who were migrated to Armenia, but that was a long time ago, 69 BC under, King Tigran the Great. But that's not the point. No, Armenians are
Christian?
primarily Christian.
Mm-hmm.
We are the first Christian country in the world to adopt Christianity
Right.
as a state religion.
Yeah.
But I would say 99% of Armenians are Christian, but there are Armenian Jews. Absolutely.
So what I feel like, because I grew up Southern Baptist, right? I understand Christian nationalism very well. I was with my family as a proselytizing missionary family, Christian family, as you mentioned. Koreans tend to be that way. What I firmly believe is that the kind of pro-Israel that we are seeing on the right under Christian nationalism is a form of anti-Semitic Zionism.
On the right.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that they care more about their access to Israel for the second coming.
But is that something that we should constantly concentrate in America and have it involved in American politics?
No, not at all. Not at all. But it keeps on coming up, right? Because we see anti-Semitism, Nick Fuentes, we see it on the far left often with the pro-Palestinian movement. And, a lot of kind of, I would say, leftists that are pro-Hamas supporters increasingly over time, which to me seems incredibly bizarre. But it's a big issue for me because I'm running in a congressional district where after Prop 50, it became an R+9 district. Actually, nobody really cares about Israel or Palestine. There are very few Jews there, and there are very few pro-Palestinian, activists there. What is happening to me online, though, is that because my husband is Jewish, people are coming out and accusing me of being a Zionist Karen. Some call me Zarin. That's not funny. I kind of like it.
That was the first time I heard that term.
Yeah. Well, let's don't. I mean, maybe it'll now become mainstream. Someone will pick it up. But also, people just have all sorts of conspiracy theories about you when you have a Jewish family.
Forget the conspiracies.
Yeah.
I just want to know the basis you did the video on Kristi Noem, and you equate, ICE to SS.
Yeah.
You equate, Trump to Hitler. I know you did the video, but if you can be super frank, do you truly feel that they are those people? Do you truly believe they are that, minded in that sense as Hitler was, as Heinrich Himmler was? In all honesty.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it's Instagram, you get views.
No. I do.
You get comments.
I do.
Some people love it, and I'm sure you got a bunch of terrible comments.
I do.
You truly feel.
I truly feel that that's where we are on a path to opening up some of the most darkest, hateful parts of our society.
And part of it is because we are using ICE to deport illegal aliens, criminals.
I think what we're seeing online, the theatrics of what he's doing with ICE under his command, is a theatrics to warn citizens to stay in line.
So do you think when previous administrations did that, that was the motive as you are explaining it?
No. The theatrics is so different. Do you know how much Kristi Noem spent on her cosplaying for the Department of Homeland Security? $160 million, right? To create essentially advertising. If you look at the kinds of advertising that ICE is putting out to recruit people, it is directly off of and very similar to advertising that Nazis used to recruit Nazis. I'm telling you, I'm an art historian. It's it's like literally they're lifting off the playbook. And so I do think a huge portion of ICE is, we don't hear about the Proud Boys anymore. I think they've been absorbed into ICE.
They've been absorbed into ICE?
Yes.
The Proud Boys.
Yes.
You're telling Proud Boys members are parts of ICE, or
I feel like the people,
motive was absorbed.
the motive and the kinds of people that they want to recruit.
Most of ICE members, there's a bunch of Latinos, a bunch of Asians, of course, many white folks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ideology doesn't have a race preference.
Yes.
Not in this era.
Okay, but if Tom, can you pull up the CNN video for Obama when there was so CNN had a special program during Obama's administration where they followed ICE at the time, and they went into the streets in Chicago and they were arresting illegal aliens. And this is under Obama.
Yes.
And I'm sure.
And I supported Obama for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't support Trump.
I don't support the theatrics.
So your issue is the theatrics.
My issue is two things. The lack of due process when something goes wrong. Like, for example, when Renee Good or Alex Preddy got shot. Where's the accountability of that?
Okay.
Okay. Like, it's literally like they have a separate system that they have to answer to, that they can answer to. They're above the law, right? Right now, you tell me if I'm wrong. Where is accountability for that?
I have a total different argument.
Yeah.
I don't know, if I should say it or not.
Say it.
So Alex Preddy, so there's two ways to judge this, and this is the way I judge it. Was it under the law? Yes. Was it morally justified? Absolutely not. That's how I feel about both incidents. It's like a police officer stopping you. Can they legally do certain things? Yes, they can. But is it morally correct as a human being? Because at the end of the day, anybody, even having a badge, they're still a human. They're no different than me and you. Correct? So
But what was he doing that justified that?
Who?
Alex Preddy. Yeah.
So first, in my very honest opinion, when you go and protest, you don't carry. That's one. Okay. Especially.
Okay, but how about when Proud Boys, we know that side does that a lot.
If
Okay.
I can say it. You do not carry. Second, if you are going and protesting, you do not go in front of police officers, push them around, kick vehicles, break taillights, and have a name for themselves. That's exactly what he did. Okay. I was hoping, if he got arrested when he broke that taillight. I don't know if you saw that video.
I saw, but it was about 11 days before, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
If he was arrested back then and that officer did not do his job, for breaking physical property of a government official, okay, he wouldn't have probably been dead. That's my honest take, okay? But you do not go and protest with a firearm. And second, I don't know if you know, there was new evidence that came out.
Was that against the law?
What was against the law?
Him having an open carry permit. So okay.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
But that's why I mentioned in the very beginning, there's two ways to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it lawfully justified? Is it morally justified? Lawfully, yes. Morally, no. Am I saddened that this happened to him? Absolutely. Am I sad that it happened to Renee Good? Absolutely.
Can we have an investigation and a trial?
Yeah, you can have an investigation.
Why isn't that happening?
Well, actually, Alex Preddy was put on administrative leave. Not Alex
Preddy.
The officer was placed on administrative leave, and because of that shooting, I think they are looking into some kind of an investigation internally as well. And again, because of that incident, now I believe there has been a sense of where these ICE officers have to be a little bit more careful, have to be, in a sense of make sure such things do not happen again. But again, there's two ways to look at it.
Yeah.
And should have they been killed, both of them? No, they should have not. Should the officer, in my opinion, I said this before as well on our podcast, for Renee Good, he could have, if he really wanted to shoot, he could have shot the vehicle or the tires to scare her, for example,
Yeah, and then also afterward, he said effing bitch.
Well, that's, I mean,
That's not,
yeah.
like that's anger. That is like hate and anger.
Listen, is it sad that anybody dies? All the time. It's very sad. I'm not, condoning the fact that this was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Can you play the video? This is the Chicago video we were discussing earlier. If you can have the volume.
Agents fan out across Chicago to arrest criminals in the U.S. illegally.
Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3.
CNN was granted exclusive access to witness some of those raids.
We got 3 targets this morning. Some of the neighborhoods a little sketchy, so we got to make sure it's not just the target we're looking after, but other people around us.
They want to come out extra early, like right now, because they want to catch these people before they go to work. That's why it starts so early in the morning.
Ready to check? All right, let's roll, guys. A lot of things go through your head. Your adrenaline, blood pressure, of course, goes up when you're getting ready to do something like this. All right, that vehicle behind us is off limits.
How many people are involved with this operation, particularly right now?
I have a 5-man arrest team here situated in this neighborhood, here on the street. You see the stoop going up. I have a couple guys sitting right inside that stoop. This is part of what we do. Keep eyes on somebody and try to be as covert as we can. There we go. Is that him in white?
This may look organized, but in this moment, confusion.
This is under Obama
Yeah.
doing the exact same
Okay, it's
thing.
not the same thing. Because
Absolutely.
there were 2 million people deported under Obama,
3
right?
million.
Was it okay?
3
Let's say 3 million. Okay. And you have to realize I'm not an open borders kind of gal. Like I have cousins, I have family in Korea that have been waiting to come in. I do believe that we
These
need.
are the stats, if you can take a look at it. 2.876 million from '09.
Great. Show that.
This is Trump in
Yeah.
his first term, 908,000, and this is currently excuse me, and then that Joe Biden, 500,000 people, 545,000 people.
My politics are very similar to Barack Obama's, to be honest. And Bill Clinton. Like I am a very centrist, almost classic Democrat. I do not believe in open borders. I believe that if you have, we have borders for a reason,
Absolutely.
and we must enforce our borders, or else citizens stop believing in the rule of law. Okay? It's critical for a civilized society to have the rule of law. Now, do I believe that we have gutted our resources to process people? We have. Do I believe we have gutted judges and lawyers that can help in this process? Absolutely. I think we are just investing in the wrong places right now. How much? 70 billion to ICE?
I believe so.
Okay. Can I tell you one thing that really bothers me?
No, you
So-
said billion? Million?
Yeah. Billion.
No.
B with a,
Can we fact check that?
Yeah,
Count $170 billion.
yes, to
As
ICE.
part of a ICE budget?
Under the big beautiful bill, it's 100 billion, and then I think now it's up to another 70 billion. Yeah. Billion.
Yeah. So in total amount to about 75 billion supplemental funding beyond the regular annual budget.
Yeah.
Love
So
this
that's
stuff.
about 100 billion now. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you look at what the annual. Okay. So let's just think about that. That's a huge number.
Yes, massive.
100 billion to ICE.
Uh-huh.
Okay. My daughter, who's in 3rd grade, goes to a public school where the teacher has to ask the parents to fundraise so that they could have expo markers and whiteboards. Where are our priorities right now?
Listen, there's so many priorities that we don't have straight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is America perfect? Absolutely not. Is it great? It is. Best country in the world. And that's why we need common sense leaders.
Yes, I agree.
Democrats and Republicans to get elected to the
Yeah.
40th district of
Yeah.
Congress. Okay? And make the change that you talk about. And if we talk about Do we have a problem with illegal immigration? Of course we do.
Yeah.
We do,
Yeah.
especially under Biden, And we usually
That was a big mistake.
massive mistake. And we as a people usually tend to vote with colors and party lines. Letter D, and a Republican, letter R. And that's something I think personally, and I hope you can concur with me, that this should definitely go out of the window and into a trash can. And we should vote based on common sense and vote on the character of the candidate
Yeah.
rather than the party of the candidate.
Yeah.
Parties, you can't tell me the Democratic Party today is the same as it was 20, 30 years ago,
No.
right?
I have a lot of nostalgia of how it was.
And I'm glad you mentioned that your politics aligns with Bill Clinton, for example.
Yeah.
And when Bill Clinton was president from 92 to 2000, we had the most growth on average in our GDP, 4.5%.
Yeah,
on an
it
annual
was
basis.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
he was the only president in history who did that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we can come back to such type of ideology and rather constantly talk about, issues, I don't want to say that don't matter, but issues that are only aligned with a certain party,
Yes. Yes.
and make sure that we want to do, the greatest good for the greatest number,
Yes. Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I've been running on a common senses or common ground platform. I also often say, I trademark team normal.
Yes. That's a good phrase to coin.
Yeah.
Team normal.
Yeah, because it's like, and I think if you don't understand what that means, you're probably not on the team.
Then you're not normal.
Yeah, you're just not on it. It's like it's a self-selecting group of us.
Yeah.
And I really take to heart that statistic that 45% of Americans now identify as independent.
And
I mean, that's a massive number.
oh yeah.
And that goes to show that we are ready for a post-Republican and Democratic politics era. And what I'm trying to do, so this is the interesting thing. I mean, rewind. A year ago, I Googled how to run for Congress. Like, I did not know how to run for Congress, okay? Now it's fine. Like, I mean, I'm a fast learner. I figured if I can figure out the art world, I can figure out how to do this. After the art world, everything is really kind of easy. And so I am now the third highest fundraiser in the country for Democratic challengers.
Saw that $2.4 million.
Yeah, 2.5 now, and then over 47,000 donations. Like,
Yep.
I figured out how to do it. But in the process, I find myself, because I more and more align myself with a centrist position. And there are parts of the Democratic Party, again, like the Democratic Socialists, fine. I'm glad it exists, but I don't identify with that.
Do you identify with Mamdani?
I do not.
Okay.
I think, okay, rewind. I don't identify with his label. I think what he sold is actually a very common sense platter of things for people to digest, right?
Community grocery stores?
Not community. Okay, not everything. Okay, so, but what he is talking to is really what people are feeling is the pain of their grocery bills, right?
Yes.
And so, and whether or not you're Republican or Democrat, people are feeling that pain. So what he did is he wanted, and that's not necessarily the solution that I would have had, but it was a solution, a tangible solution that was offered when no other politician was offering a tangible solution
At the time.
at the time. And that, I think, is what Democrats have to be able to do. I don't necessarily think what he proposed is tenable. And what he proposed, it is a form of kind of, I don't know, more socialist era grocery stores. I mean, my family fled from North Korea.
And you wouldn't know what that is. I mean, not you, but your family.
Yes. So like, yes. And again, like we have a knee-jerk reaction to things like that. But at its core, right? Like I sit on a nonprofit board called Food Access LA. We run all the farmers markets in Los Angeles.
Right.
It is a food equity board. It is about bringing fresh fruits and vegetables direct, yeah, direct from farmers. So like small independent farmers that can't make it into the big grocery system,
Yes.
right? And bringing them direct to people. They take EBT and SNAP and setting up farmers markets, essentially outdoor pop-up grocery stores in food deserts all across the city. It is, and those farmers make 60 to 70% of their income
From
through SNAP and EBT. Now, this is a beautiful program in which it answers a lot of the things that we're feeling very uncomfortable with these days, which is corporations essentially working together to keep grocery prices high when they don't necessarily have to be, and no marketplace in which people can go to other sources to get essentials that they need. And what Mamdani did is he just made a proposal
Mhm.
when nobody else was making a proposal, and I think that resonated.
Got it.
And so, again, don't agree with what he actually proposed, but I am very glad that he was a Democrat that was able to propose something that we can actually visualize and aim for.
I was one of those beneficiaries of SNAP and the welfare program. I'm totally for it, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
especially in this country where it's the most immigrated country in the entire world. There's no other country in the world that has more people coming into
Yeah.
than America. And should we help these new immigrants? Absolutely. But should they take advantage of it? That's the question. Where when they take advantage, it takes, that benefit from another family who is just immigrating to this country.
See, I take more issue with billionaires taking benefits and finding loopholes than I do people that need food and
That-
are
that-
hungry.
Then that lies back on already our lawmakers, our legislators.
Yeah,
If our legislators are allowing that to happen,
yeah.
then they are part of the problem. If
Yes,
the
I
legislators
agree.
allow
But
them-
let's not villainize poor and hungry people.
Absolutely
Like
not.
that's kind of
Nobody
that.
is.
No, but our legislators do, right? Our legislators do, so that they.
I can't think of one. Honestly, I
I
can't.
honestly think all of the Republican Party, in the way that the big beautiful bill is structured, yes,
It's-
they have villainized
The
poor people.
low-income community.
Yes.
I don't know. Look, I'm not going to get into it. I really admire speaking with you. You're a super intelligent woman. But I have another question
Yeah.
for you. What's your take on foreign influence on the American political system?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I really don't like it.
I'm going to bring you one example. So a former mayor of New York, Eric Adams, he was getting indicted and charged, and he was pardoned.
Yes, by Trump.
Yes. He was pardoned by Trump.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes, for taking bribes from the Turkish government.
Yeah.
And that is something that is constantly happening in our political system. And one of the major...
How do you like that airplane that we got
Which airplane? I don't know.
from Qatar?
Oh,
But it-
hold on. I'm not sure what you're referring to. On Trump's Air Force One jet.
Qatar gifted Trump.
An Air Force One jet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now he's using it as a presidential jet.
Okay. Let's...
Okay, that's foreign influence money. Okay.
Yes.
Just
No,
let's draw a line from what Eric Adams and like what the Trump administration represents.
I just, I told you, is America perfect? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do we have problems? And this may be one of those problems, and recently, AIPAC has been on the rise of that problem, even though they're not considered or registered as a foreign lobbying group
Yeah.
in America,
Yes.
which most organizations, who propose such donations or influence towards political candidates. But what's your take on the sense of agencies, public affairs committees like AIPAC doing what they're doing?
That's interesting. So, I know that AIPAC is a huge dog whistle for a lot of people about foreign influence. So I have Jewish children. So this is where I think it gets a little dangerous because it isn't just AIPAC, right?
Absolutely. I
There,
mentioned
yeah,
the
no,
Turkish
okay.
government
But
and
APAC,
Qatar.
yes. And most people don't know, they don't even know about, like, there are other foreign influences that
On
give way more money,
so
actually,
so
to, yeah.
just to fact that out, Turkey has one of the largest lobbies in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
spend government money lobbying the U.S. legislators,
Yep.
millions
Yep.
and millions of dollars on an annual basis.
Yeah.
And this is coming directly from the budget of Turkish government.
Yes. And so I am somebody that is against all foreign interest money. I mean, I would never, personally, would never take foreign interest money from Korea. But I also recognize I come from a very like particular place. Like I've worked very hard my entire life, and I've come to a place in my life where I do not need this salary to stay, to have a home. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, I can tell that. I mean,
You can Google,
have
like,
4 galleries,
and so for me, my me going into this is really because I am so frustrated by the level of corruption that I see in the society my kids are growing up in. And instead of complaining about it or trying to teach my kids something else, that maybe like teaching them a fantasy world that it doesn't exist, I want to be an example of how to fight it, right?
yes.
And so part of fighting that is understanding, as a congressperson who gets elected, that you represent the people, right? Like, for example, right now, the incumbents that are sitting there, Young Kim and Ken Calvert, consistently vote to give tax breaks for billionaires and corporations, neither of which are in this district in CA 40. The median income in this district is about $90,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are so broken in Congress because we are constantly having to fundraise. We are constantly having to fundraise because there are no term limits. There are term limits for the president, thank God. There are term limits in state legislature, thank goodness. No term limits in the House, and no term limits in the Senate and Supreme Court. These are the most unpopular branches of the government because we have people that want to stay in power forever. In order to do that, they have to grift. And the more you grift, the longer you stay. And so again, I'm not saying that, in theory, trying to convince a candidate or a congressperson or elected a vision of your country and how to make it better in its relations to America is bad. But if you're bribing them,
Which is kind of exactly what's
what it
happening.
is, it's a bribe.
Legally.
Yeah, legally bribing them, then I think there's something very flawed about the people and the positions that represent us as
So the
people
root
in
cause of
America.
the flawed legislators who first and
Yeah.
foremost came up with these legislations.
And it's all of this dark foreign money that is there to legally influence us. That is the root of the problem. And I really do believe that if we can get to a place, what's interesting about term limits is that it's bipartisan. It was actually a Republican thing for a while. And if you also look at term limits, 100% of lobbies are against it. Okay, well, that should tell you something.
Of course.
And so
Most of Congress is against it as well.
they're very split on it, to be honest. 86% of Americans are for it.
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
public, no question.
The public, no question.
Public, no question.
If you see, though, like the divide, like I've started looking through Congress of people that are into term limits and that aren't. The people that aren't into term limits tend to be really freaking old.
Yeah.
Like, there's a pattern there. They want to stay there, right? Like,
Mitch McConnell?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Have you seen the new video?
I posted the new video. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's insane.
Yeah, he's totally out of it. And this is why we definitely need term limits. Not only age-wise, it's not about the age.
Ooh.
You can be 78 like Trump and be,
So it's not ageist at all. It's really about cutting.
Well, 25
Yeah,
years.
it's about kneecapping the really the motivation for an elected to take a bribe,
You know what I would
right?
equate this to? It's like having doctors in hospitals who would see patients, and the more they bill,
Yeah.
the more money they make, right?
Yeah.
And if you have congressional members and Senate members, if they have term limits, then they would possibly actually judge with their moral compass
Right.
rather than the compass of what can I do to stay here more?
Yes.
I
Okay.
gotta take that lobby money. I gotta make sure I vote on that tobacco bill. I don't care what happens to the public.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. It's true. And I'll give you 2 examples in which we saw that very clearly. Marjorie Taylor Greene, how
And
she,
she quit herself.
yep. And the moment, and that went hand in hand. Remember, her speaking up and talking about how things are wrong and on her side of the aisle, how she made mistakes, went hand in hand with her being like, I'm not running again. Okay. Number 2, John McCain. The moment,
I love John McCain.
I do too. The moment, though, he decided not to run again, he went all in for the Affordable Care Act. You can have your opinions about the Affordable Care Act, but he went around the country promoting the Affordable Care Act because he knew it was the right thing for his constituents.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where my ideology comes in is
Yeah.
you vote not on party lines, but you vote on common sense.
Yes.
You know, if the Affordable Care Act is assisting millions and millions of Americans, if you're a Republican, you shouldn't vote only on the sense of that, hey, you know, what is my party going to
Right.
think? Are they going to vote me out?
Right.
Are my constituents going to vote me out? But also on the other side, you can have this logic that maybe his constituency, you know, in his state, as Senator McCain,
Yeah.
you know, might have thought that, you know what, actually, he is doing a good job. We need that affordable health care. And that's why he maybe was advertising and
Right.
promoting affordable health care. So there's a dual scenario all the time to every single question, just like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there are always multiple histories, right? They say, and it's always history's always written by the victor. The
Absolutely.
victor's to be determined
Yeah.
still.
Absolutely.
Where that's still, unveiling. But in the meantime, I think we got to figure out, yeah.
What's the first thing you do when you get elected to Congress? You
Oh my gosh. I just feel like there's such a lack of protections for respecting the Constitution. I mean, I know people want me to say impeach Kristi Noem, impeach Donald Trump. I really want us to prioritize and put guardrails on what's happening with AI and to protect the next generation from the massive job losses that we're going to experience in the next 10 years.
give me a brief example.
Well, for example, the data goes is that 1 out of 4 jobs will be gone because of AI in the next 10 years. 1 out of 4. That is going to lead to massive unemployment, right?
Mhm.
Now, there's some funny conspiracy theories out there. I don't know if I necessarily believe in it, but people are saying Trump knows this, and that's why he's supporting all the illegals right now, so that now
He's supporting the illegals?
no, deporting
Deporting.
the illegals. So like people that were working to pick our berries and do all of these jobs. And I've heard this really funny conspiracy theory that he's doing that so that when there are massive job losses because of AI, Americans have jobs.
Do you think that's why he's trying to bring manufacturing back to America?
I think this idea of bringing manufacturing back is he's kind of stuck in the past. It's like language that doesn't necessarily apply.
You made a great point just moments ago.
Yes, but I'm talking about, okay, manufacturing is not, like, let's just say it isn't here right now, right? Um, I, I don't think those are the kinds of jobs people need in the future or that America needs in the future to get ahead.
But if we're not going to have any technology jobs, if we're not going to have any coders, we're not going to have anybody.
But is that manufacturing?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
If we're not going to have any more coders because AI is going to code,
Yeah.
that means we need
But what
other
makes you-
sorts of jobs.
What makes us think that manufacturing will take human labor?
Why wouldn't it? I mean,
we have machines to
Yeah.
build cars now. Yeah.
on the assembly line, we have robots, but we also have a bunch of men and women working on those assembly lines. We have a bunch of
I don't know enough, yeah, about whether or not those like what those people do.
also
Yeah.
trade jobs. Also, trade jobs is something that we have been missing in America. The average age of a trade worker in America is 56 years old. The average age of a worker in America, I believe, is 30, 36, 38, 38 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that mostly elder people are in the trade job sector, which is, I don't know, mechanics, body shops, HVAC systems, simple jobs, trade jobs, carpenters, and that slowly is evaporating. That
Mm-hmm.
trade, job.
Do you feel like that's because the demand isn't there or the
How can it?
education opportunity?
90% of Americans have air conditionings in their house. How can there not be a demand for service repair, for installation? Every single American has some
I'm
sort of.
not sure. I mean, so what do you think accounts for that decline?
So that's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
decline. Well, first, in my humble opinion, I think America got lazy. Second, we shifted those jobs overseas. We shifted and gave those jobs, those manufacturing jobs, those HVAC jobs, because HVAC can be actually manufactured in America, but most of it is brought in from all over the world, the rest of the world. Of course, China. China is our largest trading partner. And not only China, but also parts of Asia, India, and Southeast Asia. That's why Trump just did a East Asia tour recently
Yeah.
to make sure we get those natural resources, those minerals. That's why, in my opinion, we are doing what we're doing with Venezuela and Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question if it's justified or not, that's besides the point. If is he trying to put America first and make sure he cares about his people in that sense? In my opinion, absolutely. Yes, did we kidnap a sovereign leader of a foreign government? Absolutely, we did. But we also gave him a gazillion chances to work with us. So, and he didn't comply. He didn't want to do that. But now we're trying to make sure those natural
Do you
resources.
think we have the resources or the willpower to govern Venezuela?
We are not governing Venezuela. So Venezuela has an interim government. The vice president of Nicolas Maduro, I forgot her name. If you can pop her up, she is currently the interim president until they have elections. Did we have influence on Venezuela right now? Yeah, absolutely. We just kidnapped the foreign leader. I mean, the sovereign leader of Venezuela. Of course, we're going to have some sort of influence, but are we going to govern it? I doubt it. I think whatever Trump is saying, we are in charge of Venezuela, that's just theatrics, to use your verbiage, to, show himself as this tough leader of the free world. But I don't think we're truly running Venezuela. Are we using their resources, utilizing their resources? Are we going to make sure we get their oil? Absolutely. But this is not the first time that we did this. We've been doing this for ages. Go back all the way to 1957 to Guatemala with the banana company, the fruit company. I forgot their name.
Rita?
No,
Oh.
I forgot. But anyways, we overthrew a foreign leader again because of a banana company, not oil, a banana company. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can bring you a bunch of examples. Iran, 1953, we overthrew a sovereign elected, democratically elected leader, Mossadegh, who was elected in Iran. And then we installed the Shah, the prince,
Right.
and anyways. But
And that's why we have the reputation of being an imperialist country.
yeah, we are an imperialist country. I mean, I can argue that we are the most imperialistic country in the entire world, more than Great Britain. Great Britain at its peak
Yeah.
was the massive, colonizer, right? But so is America right now.
So do you feel like you align yourself with narratives that we need to bring our resources back home
Yes.
at the same time and being imperialists?
Well,
Aren't they two different drives?
we are doing imperialistic acts for the sake of our country, for the sake of this nation. You do certain things to protect your home, and I think that's what we should be doing as Americans. You and I are both immigrants. You're Korean, I'm Armenian, but so was John Ralph, who came here in 1620 from Great Britain. So he is as American as you and I. It doesn't matter how many generations his, generations are here right now. I'm not even first generation. I wasn't even born here. My kids are. My kids are first
Oh,
generation.
interesting.
I was born in Armenia. You were born in Dallas, Texas, so you are first generation.
Yeah.
But I feel that that's what America is about,
Yeah.
that we should care about this country. And if we have to bring in manufacturing and have a little bit of imperialistic opportunities, I think I'm okay with that.
Interesting. Even if it's taking away the resources of the people that were of the other country.
Resources of other people?
No, like just the resources that are there, let's say in Venezuela. I mean, shouldn't that be for the people there?
Yes, there should be, but they had a terrible leader. They had a narcissistic egomaniac
Right.
who was
But
running the country.
but is that a justification for us to take?
I will tell you
Yeah.
what the justification is. We gave the opportunity to that man, not once, not twice.
I'm not
but-
saying Maduro is a good man by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's
And are
Yeah.
we providing those, those sales from oil, from selling however many millions of barrels we do to those people? Yes, we are. Are we going to steal everything? No, we are not. But I want to tell you this one thing, which I think a lot of foreign leaders don't understand, which is geopolitics. I think any leader in any country, one thing they should be a master at is geopolitics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you have 304 billion barrels of oil.
Yeah.
And you're the number one, producer of oil in the entire world.
Right.
You should actually be friends with your neighbors.
My question, I mean, I am someone, again, I have young children, so I'm always thinking about what a sustainable world looks like. And you're going to maybe hate me for my answer on this.
No, please.
But I was such a big fan of what Biden did to stimulate renewable resources and the building out of renewable resources in our country to get us off the dependency of oil, right?
Mm.
Yet we, as a American imperialist country, this is the language that we developed in this conversation. I'm not saying that this is what we're going to go around and talk about all day long, but is that, I mean, we're still talking about oil. I feel like I'm still stuck in like before the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we move on? Like, why can't we invest in ways that where our dependency on taking oil from other countries is not really a necessity anymore?
I don't think we have the proper solution yet. Will we have it in the near future? Definitely. With technology, having the evolution that it has today, I think
It's here. Look at China. China has done it.
Yeah, but China has been invading Africa for the past 30 years.
Yes,
with their
that is true.
Road and Belt Initiative.
That is
and
true.
they're doing the exact same imperialistic moves.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, but willfully from other countries, willingly from other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of Africa is in so many ways owned by China, and China was trying to do the same thing in Greenland as well. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's why.
And that's why it feels dangerous to us, because it's so close. Yeah.
Of course. Speaking of Greenland, what's your take on that? Do you think that is something that we should concentrate on? Do you think we should not? I don't want to use the word acquire because they're not selling it. Even though we tried to buy it many years ago, and he again offered, I think, to buy right now, and they declined. Do you think we should have some sort of presence?
We already do.
We do, base-wise. I know that, but more of a presence, like have some. Like,
yes, but we can't.
Resources.
Yeah, but we can't just take it, right?
Yeah, I don't think we can just take it. Yeah, and that's why he backed off during the World Economic Forum.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's. I think for me, it's more of a legacy project for Trump, where he wants to be the expansionary president.
Yeah.
Right?
Arc de Trump.
Yeah. He wants to be the Napoleon of...
I don't think he wants to be Napoleon. Napoleon lost, but yeah.
Yes, well, okay, fine. He wants to be the Roman Empire. He wants to bring the Roman Empire back, and I really do think it's his version of a giant real estate acquisition. for himself, for his own name, and I think he sees Gaza that way too, in a lot of ways. Um, and so I think these kind of real estate expansions that he's trying to make is really more about his own legacy than it is about the best interests of the American people.
What kind of a leader do you refuse to become?
I always want to approach this, what I'm doing every day, as a form of community service. That's it. It's so easy. I sit on nonprofit boards. I know the difference. This is a volunteer opportunity. This is not a steal and put in my pocket opportunity. Like, I don't think we should be treating our positions like this, but I know a lot of politicians do. I think it's that grift and corruption, again, that American people see in our politicians that has created an incredible amount of distrust for our government. It's right now there is no sense of law and order or consequence for politicians that grift and steal. And that is going to destroy our country.
Would you put in term limits if you get elected?
I would absolutely.
Or not put in, at least.
I would propose and I would seek bipartisan support. I would absolutely, because if we can get lobbying out of our politics, healthcare costs will go down. I promise you. We'll be able to fix a lot of the things.
Yeah.
Housing costs, a lot of the things that we really talk about affecting our day-to-day lives, a lot of that is there because the corruption is there.
Do you honestly believe that's possible?
I think it's better to strive for the impossible than to concede. I don't think we get anywhere with conceding.
If you would propose term limits, how would they look like?
That's a good one. Because there is a lot of conversation about how many terms.
Yes.
And how many terms is necessary to gain expertise, right? For example, a lot of the reason why we don't have experts in Congress anymore on anything is because they're fundraising 95% of the time. I'm telling you, they have no time to read anything. And I do feel like if we have term limits, we would have more well-informed politicians making better decisions.
I agree.
The counter argument that a lot of people in Congress say to not having term limits is that, oh, then you lose expertise, right? But you don't say that about presidents.
Yeah.
Presidents have 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most powerful person in the world.
Yep.
And they have 8 years. Now, why would that be any different for people in Congress? Congress was always designed to have new ideas, new people cycling in and out. It was not designed to have career politicians in place. It wasn't designed to have over 40% lawyers in place. It was really supposed to be farmers, local pharmacists, teachers, literally people that represent the community. Gallerists, art historians.
Yeah, artificially.
Really, but people, and I will say there are very few people that come from the humanities in Congress.
Jasmine Crockett endorsed you.
Yes.
Do you hold that as a badge of honor, or do you
I
hold
do.
it as a good political endorsement?
I love Jasmine. I think she
She became
calls
a national figure.
she calls out corruption when she sees it. She is unafraid. I think we need voices that are unafraid. In an environment where this administration is trying to entice and to muzzle so many dissenting voices, which is actually dissent is democratic. It is fundamental to who we are. And I think Jasmine is an incredible dissenter that makes her an incredible patriot.
What makes young Kim and
Yeah.
you different?
Well, first of all, I am younger than younger Kim. She is my mom's age. Okay.
She's 65.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is the legal retirement age, which I'm going to remind everybody that young Kim should be retired. I'm retiring her to Florida next year. I'll send you her address. Send her some flowers. No, so the fundamental difference is that I'm not a gaslighter. Like, she's such a liar, honestly. She is, I just, listen, if you look at her record, End Citizens United, which is a nonprofit that tracks how much dirty corporate influence money that a politician gets, she gets an F. F's pretty bad, okay? The League of Conservation Voters, which is also because I am someone that is very concerned about what we're doing to our planet, because as I tell my daughter all the time, there is no plan B. There's no planet B. There is no plan B. This is it. This is all we have. And this is shared. So for me, it's common sense that we try to extend our resources as long as possible. She gets an F minus, right? Because she gets paid by the oil and gas and fossil fuel industries and logging industries and all of that stuff. And I joke, I was like, with grades like that, F and F minus, what kind of Korean is she? She's a bad representative of my community.
That's a good one. Have you been approached by any lobbying group?
Lobbying group. No, I mean,
Lobbying group, foreign national group, APEC,
yeah.
or anybody?
No, I mean, a huge thing is when you're running as a candidate, you seek their support.
I see.
Yeah.
So you never.
So you get lists and da-da-da, and really the only people that I have solicited support from is the Vote Mama PAC, which is a PAC oriented to get more moms into Congress,
That's cool.
because there are less moms in Congress and more men named John.
Mm.
Fun fact. And the theory of the case is that moms make better decisions for the future because they're thinking about their children,
That's a good.
right? And Equality PAC, which is, advocating for the LGBTQ plus community. I'm also, what is this? Oh, I'm trying to think what other PAC. Oh, the Korean American group PAC. Just, I'm very concerned as a mom that has a mixed, interracial children.
Mm.
I do think Korean Americans offer a very unique perspective on, but is aligned also with probably how you might see your kids
Yeah.
and the Armenian American experience, right?
You speak so eloquently about the political process.
Yeah.
Why should someone believe in you if they are skeptical of that process, of that political process, of politicians, of Congress, of Senate? Why should they believe in Esther?
That's a very good question. My answer to that is that we don't really have that many options right now, and I might be the best you get. I'm sorry.
So is this like a Hillary
Yeah, no,
Trump moment?
I'm like, I don't, I'm like, I'm really sorry that this is, I ended up being the one.
Because, I mean, it's very likely you might be the next congressional member from the 40th district.
I'm vacant. I mean, the polls say that, yeah, I'm dead even.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we still have a few months to go of crazy.
Do you have some qualities you want to tell the public that, hey, this is why?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
Absolutely.
this person.
So I'm going to toot my horn for 1 second. The New York Times wrote a profile on me about a year ago, and they called me a visionary. So in the things that I've built entrepreneurially, I keep on thinking about this dichotomy in the government. You have people that want to tear everything down in the government because it didn't work. We had Doge already go through that and just throw a wrecking ball through all sorts of things. I keep on thinking, okay, the renovation that I wanted in our government didn't happen. We had a bulldozer. Oh, okay. Now we're going to have to start building. We're going to have to start building with the future in mind. I look at Congress right now, and I look at so many of the people that are leading Congress, and I don't know if those are the people that I want there at the table to build. They're not visionaries. They're not builders.
I
Yeah.
I want to show you one congressional candidate from Texas.
Okay.
Okay, Tom, can you put up this wonderful lady? I don't know if you might have seen her on Instagram. Have you not? All right.
Oh,
Well,
she looks interesting. What's her shirt all about?
little coworker.
America's a Christian nation. Okay. She looks insane. What the hell is happening?
She's
America is a Christian nation, so those terrorist Muslims can off to any of the 57 Muslim nations. Your daughters will be raped and your sons beheaded unless we stop Islam once and for all. There is only one true God, and that is the God of Israel.
And then let me show you the other side of America. Tom, can you pull up maybe
Is
some?
she like Latina? It's so confusing. What's happening?
Yeah, she is a Latina. Valentina Gomez.
Oh, I've seen this woman.
You know,
She's
even-
totally weird.
Can you pull up
Yeah.
maybe if you go to your Instagram or if yeah. Have you seen her?
Out of California. My name is Maybe. I'm running for state senate in the heart of Los Angeles and East LA, and I will fight for human rights in the state legislature. I've been working with people experiencing homelessness for over a decade, volunteering at shelters, being the homelessness liaison for the neighborhood council, and now being the operations manager for the Neighborhood Homeless Coalition. I'm fighting to make California affordable, safe, and inclusive for all. Tuition-free college, healthcare for all, housing for all, renters' rights. We can have all of these things. We deserve all of these things. We're going up against some powerful special interest groups in this race, including the landlord lobby, fossil fuel companies, and even the leaders of AIPAC. This campaign only takes money from individuals, the people that we are going to be elected to represent, not foreign interest groups, not lobbyists, not corporate, anything. California has never had a trans or non-binary legislator, and that is far past time to change. Please donate to this campaign for human rights, justice, and equity today. Let's keep fascism out of California.
Do you think any
together.
one of them should be running for office?
I think it's a free country.
Morally, lawfully, they can. We're going back.
Lawfully, morally, I don't have I have a problem with a Texan burning the Quran because that doesn't feel inclusive to everybody. I mean, maybe the other person, I mean, her message seems
Saying maybe or maybe.
maybe the woman, the they, yes, they seem to have a message-wise one about all inclusivity.
House
Yeah.
for all.
Free housing for all. I didn't catch that. That sounds untenable for
Tuition
sure.
College.
You know, college used to be tuition free, a community college.
Or was it in Soviet Union?
Yeah. You know, I think, I don't,
In North Korea.
yes. I do think we need to work on the price of education, right? Of higher education. Well, we have tuition free high schools.
Well, we had
So I don't, I think if we could extend that into tuition free higher education, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
and we have grants and we have money that gets paid to low-income students to go to college tuition free as well. So we have all of that availability as well. But my question is not
But
concentrated.
the crippling debt that most people go into, I think that's what we have to address is the crippling debt that people carry for decades.
I was just concentrating on the character of these two people.
Oh, okay. Visually, they're stunning.
Not on
They're incredibly stunning on Instagram. I can see a lot of popularity and likes coming out of this. They are made for the social media age. They're almost like AI candidates. in my mind. Um, but
Do you think this is extreme politics?
listen, I'm running on extreme normality.
Thank you.
So for me,
Answered my question without answering,
yeah.
so I appreciate that. You're preparing for the job, but
Listen,
what I'm trying to make
yeah.
normality.
Again,
One
team
is a
normal.
Republican, one is a super Democrat. So
Yeah, and listen, there are a lot of shades of Republicans and a lot of shades of Democrats, right? And there are a lot of shades of in between. And I'm kind of right now in that shade of in between. I really am tired of, I want things to feel more stable. I want our communities to feel more stable. I want, as a small business owner, for me to be able to budget plan for the next 6 months. I just want things back a little bit more to a place where when I was growing up,
yeah,
it feels nostalgic and maybe a little naive, but there was a sense back then that if you worked hard, you could achieve it.
so I I did a tweet today. Tom, can you pull up my tweet? And you speaking of that, I said, the American dream isn't dead. America just got lazy, and this is the only country that we can possibly. There you go. The American dream isn't dead. America just became lazy. And the American dream is when you work as hard as you can to achieve as much as you want. And that's what we are missing in this country. And I'm hoping you, becoming the great leader that you are, can get elected and possibly, make that American dream come back to people's minds because it still exists.
I mean, that's what I'm holding on to and running with, right?
Before I let you go,
Yeah.
I want to know, what did your dad think when you said you're going to marry somebody
A
else?
Jewish guy?
A Jewish guy who is not Korean.
Okay. So the real thing is my parents wanted me to get married at like 24, 25. Like, Korean parents, and they started setting me up on all sorts of dates in Korea. Okay. So I'd like fly to Korea and meet these people. And I was just, I think, a little too wild for all of them. I was very strong-willed. Like in Korean culture, Korean women have to be like very submissive and fit into a box. And I was loud and opinionated, which then they translated as rude. And so my dad spent many years being embarrassed and convinced that no man wanted to marry me. Yeah. And so by the time I was 28, 29, and I told my dad, I was like, listen, I found somebody that I want to marry. And he was like, and he told Joseph when he first met Joseph, first of all, my parents are Korean. They don't know any Jews. So they thought he looked like Jesus. Literally the only Jew they know. So they're like, Joseph, you look like Jesus. Thank you for saving our daughter. And was like, literally like, she's going to expire when she turns 30. Can you marry her now? And so they literally like did their best to pawn me off before I expired at 30. And I'm sure that they, there's a term in Korean culture that says -1 +1, when like I became a -1 because I got lost to the Korean.
Yes.
And but I think my dad in the back of his mind was like, well, I still have a son to work on. And he married a Korean girl. Oh. So it worked out well for him.
Well, congratulations on your marriage. I mean, I know you've been married for a while. You have 2 beautiful kids.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your run for Congress.
Thank you.
I genuinely hope I don't know if you're religious or not.
No. Okay. I mean,
whatever the best intent it is for you, for your life, I hope that happens. If it is
Thank
for you.
I am spiritual,
yes.
But yes.
If it is intended for you to win, then you may win. If it is not, then maybe something greater is waiting for you, and you may become the Korean version of Larry Gagosian.
my gosh. Lord, please help me.
I'm sure you know who he is.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, thank you for having
It was
me.
lovely having you.
Same here.